Hello and welcome, friends. I hope everybody's having a great day so far. If you are new here, welcome. And if you're back, welcome back. I greatly appreciate all of the ongoing support. This is my channel, Dragon's Jewel Creative Gems, and I'm Tegan. And of course, I'm going to get all that wonderful YouTube-y stuff out of the way first. If you haven't hit that subscribe button yet, please consider doing so. It's just down below there. And if you like the content that you see, don't forget to hit that like button as well. And of course, any love, comments, thoughts, all that good stuff can be shared in the comment section below as well. Today we are doing a whip and chat. For those of you that don't know, WIP just stands for work in progress, and I chat. So I've got my Princess Mononoke Diamond Art Club diamond painting here that I've been working on. I'm actually working on this for Familiars in February diamond painting event, and that event is run by Arietta from the Crafty Witch UK. And basically it's going throughout the month of February. You're still welcome to join in. You just have to follow her YouTube channel, and she's got a chat in there that you put your starting progress picture in, and of course you can do as many photos of your progress. She's got weekly prizes, stuff like that, so it's a really fun event. There are so many wonderful canvases being worked on as well. Yeah, so that's about all I can say. So I'm going to start doing some diamond painting, and I guess catching everybody up. As you know, I was away and had to postpone my whip and chat a week, so I think my last one that I did was January 25th, so that was about 3 weeks ago that I did that one, which is okay, that happens. That was because I went away during that time. Okay, where did that other one sneak? Okay, I have no idea. That was weird. Sorry, talking to myself there. I will apologize if my voice sounds funny at all, or if it does any sort of weird cracking or anything like that. I'm not feeling 100%, but I of course wanted to still work on this video and get it out, and of course you'll hear all about that too, because that's an update in my life. I will also probably be doing a little bit of editing, as yeah, there's those lovely, not so wonderful sounds that come along with not feeling so well. Yeah, so we'll get started anyways. Unfortunately, I'm going to be starting off with some not so great news that happened right after my last whip and chat. As everybody kind of knew, I had a senior dog that I had taken in. They thought maybe he had an infection between his eyes because he had a bump, all of that. We were still suspicious that he had an infection, and we just wanted to kind of check up on some things for him and discuss quality of life stuff with the vet, as he was 20 years old and like I said, a senior pup, a Jack Russell. Sadly, he still had some sort of infection. They figured that it wasn't between the eyes like they first maybe thought, that might have been a cancer tumor, and quality of life was going downhill fairly quickly from his last appointment as well. He was 20 years old. He was going deaf, I'm pretty sure. He was already blind. He had some dysplasia in his hips. And they figured he was experiencing some arthritis type symptoms as well because of that. And what really was kind of the main thing was he was having a hard time starting to kind of or not, keep himself kind of upright. We would feed him his dinner, and he would kind of do a face plant into his dinner bowl. And his back legs were just getting very weak as well. He was sleeping a lot. He would maybe get up, go a couple of steps, fall back down, fall back asleep in a spot. We were having quite a few accidents in the house because he just wasn't able to get to a door to get outside anymore, and so we were trying to kind of guess when he might need to go, and kind of picking him up and taking him out, and then going back out, picking him up and bringing him back in. So quality of life was definitely starting to be affected. So after talking with the vet, we unfortunately had to make the hard decision that it was his time for the Rainbow Bridge, or his rainbow journey. And so we brought him home that night from the vet appointment and scheduled that rainbow journey appointment for him for the following day. So, sorry, I was just taking a sip of my coffee there. If you don't have a drink, make sure you have a drink and kind of get settled in with that. Right, so we took him in the following day for his journey. They had sent us home with a pain med for him so that he would be comfortable overnight. And we really just spent the evening with him. We gave him his favorite wet food, gave him some treats. He couldn't get up on furniture anymore, and jumping down because he was blind wasn't 100% safe, so it was definitely kind of a supervised thing if we ever did kind of bring him up on the furniture. But we spent the evening in the living room with him, picked him up, brought him up on the couch with us so he could get some good cuddles in, and he actually fell asleep in my lap for a bit while we watched some shows and movies and stuff together. Got some pets in, and then of course when we went to bed, we brought him into the bedroom and got him comfy on his bed in there, and so he could kind of sleep near us. He hadn't been coming into the bedroom that often lately, just because probably the pain of getting up and getting there was affecting him, and so he hadn't slept in there a while, but he slept really good. And then of course brought him in the following morning. We just kind of like the first day we brought him home, I actually held him in my arms in the front seat of the vehicle. This time though, he was wrapped up in a blanket to kind of stay cozy, and we brought him in, and he actually fell asleep in my arms on the short little car ride to the vet's for that appointment. And so when we went into the vet, I had to carry him in. He was still sleeping in my arms. Then we got him into the room that they have, and he decided to wake up at that point. And then we were getting him settled onto the little table in the room, and he did for a little bit, and then he was kind of getting antsy, and so we let him down, and of course he had a pee. So we had a little accident to clean up while we were in the vets. And then once he was done that, we got him settled back up on the table again. They gave him just a sedative to kind of make him more comfy because he was starting to get a little bit antsy being up on the table. But he was running into everything we put him down on the floor, so they gave him a little bit of sedative to kind of keep him calm and comfortable, and that actually ended up making him sleepy as well. So we got him back up on the table when he kind of did about a minute walk around, got sleepy after bumping into a wall, and kind of started just kind of melted onto the floor. So I picked him up and put him back up on the table, got him comfy with his blanket, and he kind of fell asleep at that point. And as much as you were never ready, that was the best time for them to come in and put in the IV. So they came in and they put in the IV, and then we did his journey for him at that point. He was asleep, and he remained asleep when they put in the IV as well. So I mean, best case scenario, really, he was kind of sleeping when they put that in, so it was just the injection that they do that slows his heart and kind of does the rest. It was hard. I won't lie. We miss him a lot. We think our son even understood, because he was at his overnight with his nanny and papa, and then he came home and he saw, because he was having so many accidents in the home, he had to throw out his old dog bed right away. There was no way we could clean it, and we had to get our other dog a new bed for that spot, because she also used it. But he noticed the bed missing, and I guess I was tired from everything, and so I was napping. But I guess when my mom brought him home, he noticed, and he went over and started crying on my mom. And definitely our other dog is, I think, feeling a bit kind of depressed and down a bit. We're having to encourage her to eat a little bit. And it's kind of spoiling her, and so she doesn't want the dry food. So it's kind of finding that balance of, well, you gotta eat what you get, but we need her to eat, obviously. So yeah, there's that. That was made the first week of February, kind of or the last week of January, first week of February, whatever. Going forward, kind of a tough one. He was the one who usually would come into my craft room, and he would lay on a blanket and keep me company while I diamond painted and worked on crafty projects and stuff. So it's being in my craft room has been a little difficult in that sense, just because I'm used to seeing him in here with me when he was able to get up and kind of be in here, and that's always tough. We finally just got around to kind of getting his dog dishes up off the floor and little things like that. Because for the longest time, we weren't even ready to do that. Yeah, so unfortunately, that was a thing. Never easy, never ever easy to lose a furry family member. He was a special little Jack Russell too. He was, if you haven't watched my About Me Whip and Chat when I first started my channel, you might not know his story, but he was what we called our self-rescue. And that was because we were interested in a Jack Russell actually at the time as our first dog, and so we had been kind of looking on our local shelters and stuff stuff like that, and we saw his picture on the pound. He was actually found outside of 2 smaller towns outside of our larger city, Spruce Grove, Stony Plain. He was in between those two, just kind of wandering and scrounging food and whatever he could. We don't know how long he was out there for, but we saw his picture in a pound, and so we inquired, and they said, well, his original owner has actually picked him up, and so we kind of said, okay, well, if you get another one in that's available, can you please phone us? And so we left our number with them, and they ended up phoning us back. I don't even know how much longer, but they ended up phoning us back and asking if it was okay if they gave our number to the original owner of Trigger. And so we said sure, and he ended up contacting us and saying, this dog isn't mine anymore. I gave him to a family over a year ago, and I'm not interested in this dog, and I heard you were, sort of thing. And so we went out and we met that owner, and his story was that he had a girlfriend or wife at the time who was pregnant, and they didn't think he was a good dog for a family, because he would be too hyper being a Jack Russell. So they had given this to this family, and I guess they never transferred over the dog licensing or that sort of thing. They never linked him to their phone number or any of their addresses, so it sounded like on top of not doing all of that, they had kind of moved and abandoned. And that's when he was found by the pound and then tracked back to the original owner. So we said, well, at this point, like, how much do you want for him? And all the original owner asked for was the pound fee. And the pound fee was only like $25 Canadian. So we were like, yeah, okay, we're interested, and we were actually expecting to pay a lot more than that. So yeah, we got our self-rescue, is what we call him, for $25. When we got him, he was a year and a half. Just before we were married. He turned out to be a fairly mellow for Jack Russell. Yes, he had energy, but he also knew how to kick back and just chill and relax at home and stuff like that too. So he was a perfect little kind of dog for us as well. And then when our son came along, he became like our son's best little buddy. He was so tolerant as our son got older and bigger, and kind of when kids first get interested in animals, but yet they don't know how to be gentle, and they often like to pull and tug and kind of maul. Trigger was very patient with our son through all of that. In fact, he was very, very tolerant of it. More than he probably should have ever been. But he was a great little dog for that kid. But yeah, he made it to 20 years old. So he lived a very long, long life. And most of it with us, except for his rough little start. How much of that story is accurate or true, who knows? I'm not going to go on with that forever. After all of that, we of course had our Vegas trip come up, which was on the 5th. That was the gift that my hubby had surprised me with for Christmas, was for us to go to Vegas and stay at the Flamingo. We had gotten tickets to the hockey game against the Knights. Our team is the Oilers. Unfortunately, our team did lose, but seeing a game in Vegas, a hockey game in Vegas, was absolutely amazing. The arena they do it at, they call the Fortress, and you show up and you actually wait outside, and whereas here, when you're let into a hockey game, they just kind of open the doors, you go through the process of whether or not you have a ticket, security checks, making sure that you're not bringing in any kind of weapons or drugs or alcohol that's not permitted. Yeah, but in Vegas for their games, they actually have a whole show when the horns go off and they announce that the Fortress is now open, and it's a little bit more kind of showy, flashy entrance in, which was kind of fun. It added to the excitement, I think. So we went in, we found our seats, we ended up eating there. We were going to try to eat somewhere along the way, but we couldn't find anywhere that kind of we liked the prices of, because let's be honest, we were quite sticker shocked when we went to Vegas. Things were more expensive than we remembered. And then by the time you converted it over to what it would be in Canadian, it was double. So like their prices have seemed to have gone up, plus doubling it to Canadian. Like for example, they were charging, one place we went, they were actually charging $25 US for their craft beer, which is outrageous. But then when you add the conversion to that, which was almost double, that would be like paying $50 for one craft beer. Same thing with a burger. Like their burgers were $25, $26 US, but then by the time you converted it over, almost $50 plus. And these were basic regular burgers, just with like your patty, your bun, lettuce, tomato, and whatever sauces. So yeah, we were a bit sticker shocked, and we're kind of really focused on kind of where do we eat. Finding places that were somewhat reasonable, that were a little bit more off the strip, because the strip was definitely expensive. Part of that could be because the Super Bowl was coming right after we were there, so part of it could definitely be that. One of the things they actually did before Super Bowl was they took down all the prices for their liquor. They took down all the prices for their liquor in any of kind of the hotel stores or whatnot, so you didn't know what anything cost. So that was interesting. And trying to find something that we wanted to bring back to our hotel room with us. Anyways, even though we lost the hockey game, we were sticker shocked. I'm totally going off track now. It was a really, really good game. It was very back and forth, had us on the edge of our seats. We met a couple of Vegas Knights fans. They were really, really nice. Down there, the one guy who was a local, he went to quite a few of the Knights games. He was sitting right behind us. He actually said that the Oilers, as a Canadian team, is probably for like somebody who's not local to them, their fans show up for their games the most out of all the other fan bases yeah, so it was kind of neat, and he loved it, and he said that kind of told him that it was more about hockey than anything else, and that was really, really cool. And I had another conversation, kind of, because I don't know the Vegas Knights very much. I kind of had a conversation with one of the fans and kind of asked them who their big players were, because like I know our team, who our big players are, who everybody kind of, you know, is drawn to and loves and kind of cheers for out of all the players. So I was curious on their side, kind of that. So that was kind of cool too. Yeah, but they were all very nice, very welcoming, which made it a lot of fun. There were so many Oilers jerseys that day walking the strip, and even when we were walking over to the game, it was really cool to see actually how many Edmonton Oilers fans were in Vegas there. We ran into so many of them too, and we're chatting with them after the game, just talking about the game, talking about Oilers. So that was a really fun kind of evening as we very slowly made our way back to the hotel. We had a lovely bartender who gave us drinks. Yeah, and he mixed them very well. They were quite strong and lovely, and I may have gotten tipsy, and I may have fallen off a chair when I went for a chocolate martini at the New York and got myself in trouble. They actually sent security over, see if I was okay, if anybody was with me, what hotel I was staying at, that sort of deal. Oops. Yeah, but it was fun nonetheless. That was the game. We did the Knight's dinner, which was at the Excalibur as well when we were there. That was fun. We sat in the Dragon section. We went once before when we were in Vegas, like 10 years ago, to the same show, sat in the same section. They had, of course, changed up who won. Slightly different stuff going on in the story, too, so that was a fun little change up. The dinner even changed up a tiny bit, but you still, it was a like little full chicken that they served with some roasted potato, corn on the cob, and a bun, which you ate all of that with your hands. So lots of fun, and then you get a choice of water or pops, or you can pay for drinks, whatever you're wanting, and they'll bring it right to you. You eat everything with your hands, that kind of thing. You drink out of like plastic tankards. They kind of tell you to be rowdy, have fun, hoot, holler, cheer, be as loud as you can, bang your hands on the table, that sort of thing, slam your tankard on the table. So very, very medieval-y stuff. Cheer on whatever section you're in. So we were the dragon section, which is the bad guys, so we were cheering for the bad guys. They didn't win this time. The first time we cheered for them, they had, but the story was different that time. So it was kind of fun. The same guy was actually playing the Black Knight, and we talked to him again, and it was really, really neat. I was wearing my Slipknot sweater, which apparently gets lots of attention in Vegas. I had so many compliments about what a great band Slipknot was, and how much everybody loved my sweater I was wearing, including from the Black Knight, because he came out afterwards and kind of talked to people sitting in his section. And so we were talking to him about how he saw the show like 10 years ago, and he says, oh wow, and all of that. And so we asked, and he said that this, they still put on a good show, all that good stuff. We still really enjoyed it, all that kind of thing. And he, of course, was one that had commented on my sweater. Apparently he used to play in a metal band. So yeah, that's probably why he loved the sweater. So that was kind of fun. And then we did the high roller, which was a Ferris wheel in behind our hotel, and it goes 550 feet above. You can take drinks up on it, of course, before you go on, all that good stuff. You can take pictures of the strip from up there. You go around and it's about a half-hour ride. But because of the Flamingo, there is a deal with the rewards card there that you sign up with in the casino. That kind of allows you to do that a little bit cheaper. So we decided to take advantage of that and check it out. We did that one evening. And then we also checked out the Omega Mart, which is in Area 15. So it's a play off Area 51. It doesn't exist, but we do, kind of thing. It was really, really fun. They had announcements going in about that. And then when you got inside, there was a whole bunch of things. There were some stores, some restaurants, some arcades, some bars, and then what they call a Mega Mart, which is like an art exhibit, but it had hidden passages. It's set up kind of like a grocery mart when you first go in. So it looks like a grocery store when you first go in, but you can open like a hidden door and it leads you somewhere else. And they had a QR code card that you could tap at certain stations throughout if you come across them, kind of thing. And it had a whole story behind it, so a little bit of lore. So we decided to pay a couple bucks extra. We only got the one card. That's honestly all we needed between the two of us. We both didn't need a card. But it unlocked the lore, and then we could kind of find out what was really going on in this Mega Mart. It was lots of fun. So it was kind of set up like an art exhibit, yet it had stations and a story that went with what was going on. And then it had a hidden bar as well. And we decided to stop in there and have a drink while we were there. And it was really, really fun because they played off the story with their drinks. So it was something a little bit more unusual than if you just kind of got a drink anywhere in Vegas in a bar kind of thing. They kind of had some fun with it. So yeah, we did that. That was kind of our activities other than just kind of walking around, enjoying ourselves. We didn't rush getting up in the morning and going and doing anything. We just kind of let our bodies and based off what we did the day before kind of lead us and guide us. Other than our few planned things that we did. So it was a really nice vacation. We had a lot of fun. We did a tiny bit of gambling, didn't win anything. But we that was our expectation going in. And then, yeah, then since we've come back, because I'm sounding kind of bleh right now, since we've come back, I've been dealing with some sort of like sinus allergy, partial cold type thing. I don't know. It's been really weird. Stuffed up, coughing, runny nose, coughing up mucus, all that wonderful, lovely cold-like stuff, but it doesn't feel 100% like a cold. Like there's sinus stuff going on with it too, like the sinus pressures, and it's just since we've gotten back from Vegas that's kicked in. My hubby kept saying that, oh, that's what I had like a month ago, and I was like, I don't know if it is, because why would I get it like a month later and after we come back from traveling, of all things. I thought maybe it was because I'm allergic to smoke, that maybe it was because our last night was when we really spent any time in the casino. I thought maybe it was from all the smoking in the casino because we had the Super Bowl crowd started coming in at that time. I thought maybe it was my reaction from that. But normally that would clear up in like 2 days, and it's been almost, I think, 4 or 5 now, so there's definitely like a little bit of a cold element going on. So yeah, that's kind of draining my energy a bit and making me sound all funny, and I'm going through all the Kleenexes. Real fun stuff. Waking up multiple times to blow my nose because I can't breathe. good things like that. Yeah, so that was pretty much our trip. Since we got back, we decided to finally go out and get a new couch because our one couch was falling apart. The cushions had kind of ripped, the stuffing was coming out. It wasn't very supportive. So we ended up going to Leon's and finding one of their clearance couches that's actually like a fabric couch, and it's got recliners on either side. So we got that for a couple $100. So that was a nice little kind of score and find, and is far more comfortable and supportive than the couch we had, which I'm happy about because that makes my back feel better when I'm sitting out on it. So yeah, other than that, it's channel stuff. I still got lots of unboxings I need to film. Now that I'm back from Vegas, I'm hoping, and once I feel a little bit better, I'm hoping to start filming some of those again. Of course, naturally cycling those out. Hopefully get some crafty projects on the go. Find some time to do that, get those going again. And then, for those of you that noticed, I've subscribed to a thing called Witch Casket, which is a monthly subscription box. I unboxed my January one. I will continue to be receiving those and doing unboxings for those, so if that was something you enjoyed and were interested in, I'm going to keep doing those. So you'll see February's. Right now, I guess there's they're waiting on one of the products for it, so there's a little bit of a delay. And so just waiting on that, so that'll be a tiny bit later. They're hoping the delay won't be too long for the item that's missing, but you never know. So that'll be happening still on the channel. So like I said, if that's something you're interested in, definitely keep your eye out on those. What else here? Yes, the ghostly echoes and wip&chats will now be alternating each week. And so I'll do those on Fridays. I was doing the ghostly echoes weekly, but last few times it seems like I'm getting them out every second week, so I just decided to make it easier on myself. It's not in around the Halloween season either right now, so why not alternate it with a wip&chat so that you kind of get a little wip&chat style video weekly that way too. So yeah, so obviously while I was away, you had that happening. I'm getting out a wip&chat this week, so next week will be another ghostly echoes. I know you'll have to wait just a little bit longer for those, which I do apologize for, but it's just easier on me right now to not put that pressure on myself. But I still enjoy doing them, and I still want to get them out, that kind of thing as well. Yeah, I also have to do the filming for those, the progress on the canvas, and then the stories that are being told as well. So that gives me time, a little bit more time in between episodes too, to kind of get that together. Because depending how busy things get, sometimes that becomes a little bit difficult, and that's why quite a few have ended up being postponed. Just because, yeah, life happens. I think that's really about it for the channel right now. Not lots happening. Just once again kind of getting back into the swing of things after vacation. Getting things going again. All that good stuff. I'm participating in this canvas being familiars in February. I am looking at joining Mermaids and Magic again this year. I'm not sure. I've gotta shop my stash, see what I have and what inspires me to work on after I finish this one. But definitely, I also have finished another one of my special drill seasonal trees, so I've got to post the post review for that as well. So yeah, I've got basically a whole bunch of filming to get my butt happening with. So hopefully I get to start feeling a little bit better so that my voice can handle it, all that good stuff. Have the energy for it too, that kind of thing. I hope you guys enjoyed this whip and chat. I'm not sure how long it's going to end up being. Of course, we'll see everybody in the next video with something new. Have a great day. Bye.